Imagine this scenario. You're having a private conversation on your work phone, discussing a sensitive matter with a client. You're confident that your privacy is protected, but what if your boss could listen in? Today, we're going to dive into the world of RingCentral and explore whether your boss can see your calls. It's a question that many employees have, and it's important to understand the answer. Understanding RingCentral's privacy policy. Before we get into the specifics, let's take a look at RingCentral's privacy policy. This document outlines the company's practices regarding data collection, use, and sharing. While it can be a bit dry, it's crucial to understand the key points. According to RingCentral's privacy policy, the company generally does not monitor or record your calls. However, there are a few exceptions to this rule. Legal requirements. If RingCentral is required to do so by law, such as in response to a subpoena or court order, they may monitor or record your calls. Quality assurance. RingCentral may monitor or record calls for quality assurance purposes to ensure that their services are functioning properly. Fraud prevention. If there is suspected fraud or abuse of RingCentral services, the company may monitor or record calls to investigate. The role of your employer's policies. While RingCentral's privacy policy provides some guidance, it's important to remember that your employer's policies also play a significant role. Your company may have specific rules regarding phone usage and monitoring, which could override RingCentral's general practices. It's a good idea to review your company's employee handbook or other relevant documents to see if there are any provisions related to phone monitoring. If you're unsure, don't hesitate to ask your HR department for clarification. Additional factors to consider. Beyond RingCentral's privacy policy and your employer's rules, there are a few other factors that could influence whether your boss can see your calls. Your phone settings. Your personal phone settings may impact whether your calls are monitored or recorded. For example, if you have enabled call recording on your phone, it could override RingCentral's privacy settings. Company-provided phones. If you're using a company-provided phone, your employer may have more extensive monitoring capabilities. They may be able to access call logs, recordings, and other data related to your phone usage. Protecting your privacy. If you're concerned about your privacy, there are a few steps you can take to protect yourself. Review your company's policies. As mentioned earlier, understanding your company's policies is essential. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask your HR department. Use personal devices. If possible, consider using your personal phone for sensitive calls. This can provide an extra layer of privacy, as your employer may have less access to your personal device. Be mindful of what you say. Even if your calls aren't being monitored, it's always a good idea to be mindful of what you say on the phone. Avoid discussing sensitive or confidential information that you wouldn't want your boss to hear. So, can your boss see your RingCentral calls? The answer is generally no, but there are exceptions. Understanding RingCentral's privacy policy, your employer's rules, and the other factors we discussed can help you make informed decisions about how to protect your privacy. Remember, if you have any concerns about your phone privacy, don't hesitate to reach out to your HR department or a privacy expert. Your privacy is important, and it's worth taking the time to protect it. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.